I hear principals say all the time, it's such a lonely job. And I have never, I can't even, it just doesn't make sense to me because the weight is carried so evenly here. But I think we do a really good job of developing teacher leadership all the way down. You're a new teacher, you come in. It's so important that you're with a core group of colleagues that you meet with consistently because you are learning leadership skills there. Then you may take a leap up into working on a committee, or you may become a house leader or a department chair, but you're being cultivated for leadership the moment you walk in. And sometimes you're a veteran and you've been a leader. You're like, I need to step back, which is fine because somebody else is ready to step up.
Every teacher is a leader within their classroom, right? I think the major difference is that we have to be very intentional about keeping our doors open so that our leadership is not siloed. And I think it's really easy in a traditional school setting for teachers to be great leaders within the confines of, a 20 by 15 room. This unit is about comparing linear, which we spent all semester doing, to now our new function, exponential functions. And we're trying to figure out the language that tells me what is what. Leadership here is not about someone being in front, but about all of us being side by side. And I think that's something that's really relevant and valuable to school.
It feels like that if you want your voice to be heard, it can be heard. There's a process for decision making, and it can be slow and frustrating, but the alternative is you're being told what to do. If that shared decision making is embedded in the school through really clear structures, that it lasts beyond a particular administrator or someone who's going to come in with these big ideas and save the school, but then as soon as that administrator leaves, then things start over.
It's really hard to do, but we have to think about what's this going to look like in 5 years and in 7 years. And I know the turnover for site administration is so frequent. 3 years, you have 3 years, so I got to do this. I think that's just the wrong way to think about site leadership. And I think it's a hard message maybe to accept, but I have come to believe the most important lens for a site administrator to have is viewing the institution as an entity that has a culture and a language of its own, apart from the people who happen to be here. It's not my culture, it's Hillsdale High School's culture.
So we have an opportunity at least once a week, usually at least once and partly at least twice a week, to sit down and talk about what we're seeing, trends and common things popping up, from academic stuff to mental health stuff, things that are happening at home that are affecting what they're doing here, trying to figure out how we're going to get a certain kid to be more likely to flourish or thrive here. At Kid Talk, we get at least 4 different perspectives on the kid, usually more like 6, because we have the counselor and the principal in there with us. And so each of us gets to see that kid in different spaces and at different times. And so you get to see all these threads and all these facets of the kid that you normally wouldn't. I think it makes you more patient. It makes you less reactive. You are able to deal with frustration a little bit more. Your defenses are lower. You're not bracing as much in the classroom because you have more opportunity to figure out the kid as a whole.
I feel like that's kind of rare, I guess. Like, you could have like one teacher that you could talk to, but I feel like I have like a whole bunch of them I could talk to. And they all know me and know who I am and know like how I operate and what they think would help me.
I think Kid Talk really keeps me open that I am a room in a house. And this house is also a village. And so, depending upon when I see that child, when I see that youth, what they've experienced in the previous class is going to impact my class. And so Kid Talk keeps me open to what I'm sending out in the world, into this village of this high school, and also what I'm receiving. Go to the tiny numbers and see if you can figure that out.
It's just been so energizing to be part of a community that is constantly evolving toward a vision. You just see way more consistent, sort of student-centered instructional practice here because we gave teachers the space and time to do that work.